I came across this picture as I was going through some old photos and thought, wow, being a Jehovah's Witness really is all-consuming, because here in this picture, my family was on vacation in Mexico. It was something that we did every year. We would visit a fellow Jehovah's Witness family there. But we were always expected to make all of the meetings and even go out in field service, even though I did not speak Spanish, having been born and raised in Belize. But there are a couple of letters that I wanted to read to you guys that was sent to me some time ago from my mom. And I think it really goes to show the mindset of an indoctrinated parent, Jehovah's Witness parent, toward their child who have left their faith. So here's the first letter from my mom. This was sent to me, I believe in 2001. Hi Adrian, this letter is to let you know that many nights I lay awake thinking about you and feeling sad, knowing that at one time you were among Jehovah's people. I decided to write to you because it's a way of really expressing the way I feel, and at least I will be satisfied that you don't have to answer me only because maybe you want to and don't know what to say, or you just don't want to talk to me about the situation. I don't know the reason for your delay in not coming back to Jehovah, but whatever it is, I think it has been more than enough time to rethink what way your life is going. My son, we love you, but there is someone who loves you even more, and that is Jehovah God. He begs you to return to him, and he will return to you. She quoted Malachi 3:7. Think about what happened the other day. Many innocent lives were lost. You would see it on the faces of people how frightened they were. Do you want to be among those whom Jehovah will slay? Those who die will be those who deserve to die. Jehovah first loved us when he allowed Jesus to die for us. He offers you life. Choose wisely and live. Remember, Jehovah forgives in a large way. Humility is not a sign of weakness, because it takes a strong man to be humble. Don't let pride take the upper hand of you, because if it does, it can be like a cancer that just eats you away until there is not even a trace of your existence. David sinned many times, but the thing about him was he humbly acknowledged that he sinned, took his punishment, repented, and was shown favor. Satan's world is cold and cruel. He will use you to the full, and then when he has enough, he spits you out. Then who will you turn to? My son, please do not wait for that to happen. How long can you succeed without Jehovah? If you allow him, he can lift you up and support you, but you need to open your heart to him and ask him for help and strength to do what you know is right. The decision is yours. No one can make it for you. Make Jehovah's heart glad and do the right thing. Jeremiah 31:34, we read that he forgive our error and our sins he remember no more. In life, sometimes we must take drastic steps to remedy a situation, and time moves on, so we must act quickly. Don't trade what you know to be priceless for a moment of pleasure and a lifetime of regrets. Don't allow bitterness to control you. Life goes on, and every one of us will have to answer for what we do. What Jehovah offers us is worth more than all the money in the whole wide world. In fact, money can't buy peace of mind and a clean conscience and true happiness. Think about it. No, think long and hard, very hard, for your life depends on the decision you choose to make. Time is running out, and don't let it be late for you. Please, don't shred this letter. Keep it and read it sometimes to remember how I feel. Your mother, who loves you. A few years later, I'm guessing around 2006 or 2007. My mom wrote another letter, which was to be her last letter that she wrote to me. It reads, "Hi Adrian, these few words is just to let you know how much Daddy and I love you. But even more so is our loving God, Jehovah. I hope you were able to go to the memorial and the special talk at one of the halls near you. Both occasions was very special because we were reminded of the great sacrifice that Jehovah and Jesus did for us when he reflect on that great sacrifice, or when we reflect on that great sacrifice. It should move us to honestly ask ourselves, how can I repay them?" The special talk was tailored around the call for all those who were once part of Jehovah's organization to come home. Come back home, Adrian. Jehovah pleads to all those who have a good heart, like you. Think about your two beautiful children and your wife. Jehovah has given you the responsibility to care for their spiritual needs. Love them to the extent that you want to give them the best heritage there is, a love for Jehovah and his Son, which is the best way of life. Please take the time to read the magazines, especially pages 10 through 15 that I have enclosed. Take care. With love, Mom. So there you have it. Those were the only two letters that I have ever received from my mom. My dad have pretty much been silent over the years. He doesn't have much to say. But yeah, 3 years ago was when I was fully awakened. But over the previous, I would say 6-7 years or so, it was a slow and painful realization that I was living this huge lie and that everything was just not what I thought it to be. And it really crippled me in many ways. And my wife, had to basically deal with a handicapped husband during those years because I was really numb to a lot of things and was unable to function, and in some ways it still sort of affects me in that way. So the call that you are about to listen to is the very last phone call that I had with my mother, and I have not spoken to her since. So here it is.
Hello?
Hello, senor. Not much. How's it going?
What's that?
Not much. How's it going?
Okay.
Well, I'm returning Blue's text message to Sarah.
You know what?
I am responding to Mommy's text message.
Oh. You want to talk to Emma?
Sure.
Hello?
Well, hello, Blue.
Hi, what happened?
Oh, I'm doing
All
good.
right? You
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah, I'm good. We're all doing good.
How everybody? Kids and Sarah?
They're good. Sarah's at work, Timmy's at school, and Ava's watching TV, I think.
Okay. And they cook for me dinner.
Oh, you're cooking right now?
Soft beans with rice and chicken.
Oh.
The usual.
Yeah.
Okay, just see how I'm doing, you know. And I have for a long time, and I'm not going nowhere the right yet.
Yeah.
I'm not going, yeah, and I'm kind of the money. I don't know how long.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
last time we spoke, I thought, was it you or Daddy that said something about since we have nothing in common, it doesn't make sense to really um either
No.
associate.
You see, I think in our way that you to make one decision between where I stay around his family, you know, because everything really go good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we just when he said that he mean, you know, we don't have to start with a big family, but we can't force it for them. You
Mm-hmm.
come, we eat together, and you go, and that's it. We can't force it for. That's what he mean, you know. So, but because I think that because every time that must be upon your mind, and every time we talk to you, that's all it, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
criticize us. So we say, well, but then any other thing else, because of the whole of the door, anybody sick, we okay, we're not okay, we're healthy. If we don't want to eat dinner, if, you know, welcome to come, we are call, we know, until we don't call.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how we not sit down and talk about Bible things. We talk about all kind of things. But the priority is living, you know, what we know is right, that's all. So, that's it. So I just, you know, make people face it because when the reason,
Yeah.
because we know we lost her, we can't force it, you know.
Yeah, but aren't you guys encouraged not to associate with people who talk negatively about the organization?
Well, it's like if you have one cancer, you know, other wrong people will tell you want dead, you know, you want to get it, want to fight it. You could get over that bridge, man. You could get over that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
This life, the encouragement, and I'm nothing to get you down on this way, you know. And that's the key. We live in a terrible world where you can get you depressed and sad and stuff. So we just want to uplifting things to care about, you know, and nobody. That if I hear somebody to criticize, but yeah, no, I'm like, that can't be sad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the way, you know. But yeah, if we never appreciate him. Yes, darling, what is it? It's up on the cover. Just find one for her. Yeah, you know. And Lydia, you know, want to say hi?
Well, maybe later, but I mean, I wanted to talk to you mostly.
Okay.
Because I had made up my mind really to, because I mean, I guess first of all, let me just say that every single day I wake up, I think about how the society is misleading you guys,
Okay.
and
But it's okay. It's all right. No, don't worry about living another life. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We have to.
and that's the hurtful thing because you know, everybody that I talk to, and I talk to a lot of active witnesses whenever I see them wherever I happen to be, they say the same thing you say. That is that they don't want to hear anything negative. They only want to hear upbuilding things, and of course that's fine. But I mean, to say, does that mean that you're going to hide things that you find out about the organization and pretend like they don't exist? I mean, you guys are not even willing to hear anything that I have to say and look it up for yourself. And that's my problem. I mean, I just got off the phone with Brooklyn Bethel a few hours ago. I call them all the time to talk about different things. And those people, they act the same way the other witnesses act. They don't want to hear it. They say if I have any questions to send a letter or just leave it in Jehovah's hands.
And that's the truth, because, but just like when people with political issues and stuff, they criticize each other, but in the end, somebody will turn out to be the true one, no matter how nasty it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
They really talk nasty about each other, and they were such good friends after that thing, they're political people, are the same thing. Whatever is under the thing will come out, but the bottom line, Jehovah is using an organization to be amid this world of uproar. He must have one true church religion. And if the perfect people, they will do things, they will criticize, to cause people to criticize, they will do things. I think they're not perfect. They will do all kinds of things, but that's why you see this organization have this fellowship thing. Because they're not, when it comes to the life, they're not tolerated. And people even say, well, we are the fellowship. But if you determine to God, because if they never have the fellowship, what do you have? You go with religion. But the Bible said that God has a clean, undefiled name present from his standpoint. Not from man to humanity. It's a clean congregation, it's a clean organization, and yes, we don't deny that. And like one time I read the old news because of how we get into the truth is people will never have internet like now. Even, let's take just for example, running.
So do you think I want a life not according to the Bible?
Well, one of the people like that too, they want to say, just be good, just read the Bible. But that's never what Jesus said. We don't just sit down and hold your hand with the Bible. They have commands. How we are encouraged to incite the love of our work is what the Bible says. It means that it has to be a group of people. It has to be, it says, it provides you to congregate with little ones, with young and old. That means you have to be among people. You understand?
Right.
To encourage each other. You know what? Things hard. And Halloween we get for we area we go a lot of we get older than they maybe Halloween we go down. But we don't find each other and we say, you know what? At least we know what the future will be. We not only sit down like one, they get older, sit down now around the chair. So well, already we're to bed, the future will get something better anyway for this. Which other place I would have know that? Yes, I know that and be like, well, when I'm dead, I'm dead. Now I finish it no more. I know I have no kind of hope. Hope makes you feel strong. Hope makes you look to the future brightly. And every day you get up and say, thank you, Jehovah, for another day of life. Let I use it to serve you. Let I use it to do good to people in general, not only for those who are Jehovah Witnesses, but anybody. We're willing to help anybody. You see?
Speaking of doing good for people, the other day I saw a lady begging for food with a couple of little girls by the store. And I asked them if they're hungry. She said, yeah, so I took them to a Starbucks to get them food and drink and stuff. And after I did that, I felt so good. I don't think all those years of preaching, not once did I feel as good as I did just helping them in that simple way.
You see the thing is that you see why at your age you gotta stop, close your mind from people who are it's just common sense. That like if somebody not like for your wife, they will tell you all kind of things. Maybe a past life. So now the same thing. You say you give that person one meal, which is good. But Jesus said we work for the food that do not perish. So we help people out there. So that people are being an idea. They're encouraged to do it, and I get up to me and stuff and I get it. But we the after life, the real life where Jesus died for us for.
But
that's what we do.
Yeah. But I mean, Jesus is the one, according to the Bible, that offer life, not you or preaching.
Oh no, yes, Ron. I couldn't believe we don't try to give people life. We we just show them from the scripture how they could change their life and do the things that the Bible said. No, really? Because you know what? I could be preached right now, and tomorrow I could, I'm not about that man. You can't go live on. Well, like we go and say, come on, man, don't tire you, man. You live with them 50 years. You want one new man. I could change, but, and also, but with Jesus said, we're not change it. So that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. So,
If I mean, I don't, you know,
we can't give them, we can't. It's impossible. No way to give them life. Only the Bible to give God's word help people change. That's the way it says. God's word is alive. It exerts power. It's sharper than any two-edged sword because it pierces into the heart and the mind. And when people study the Bible, people read it, people do what the Bible says, apply it in their life, they make them start thinking, oh, you know, this life, this is another life where God wants me to live. I live with this man, yes, we love each other, but God says He's where we put us are married. So you clean up your life. You see, so that the Bible really changed. People know yet, are we? We are the only one instrument where God be used.
Mm-hmm.
Because one part of the scripture says we use him the sword is him and what? But he used imperfect people, or he could have sent angels to do it. He used imperfect people because just like in the Old Testament when he used Peter, Jeremiah, and people that are imperfect and have their faults. But still, God put a goodness in their heart and He used them.
So what do you think my fault is then? I just want to have fun and enjoy myself.
I'll be honest with you, Ian. I don't know if maybe sometimes I say maybe your conscience bother you a little bit because maybe you might say, you know, in your heart, you know the right thing to do. That's this is my and I have to tell you. Now my dead tonight, and I'm not tell you, so I can tell you. I feel in my heart that your conscience, you fight against your conscience. It's not the tongue in your heart. You don't know that your witnesses are trying, and I use the word strongly, trying their best to live according to the Bible. Yes, there will be people who will do things and will bring reproach on God and the organization. That's not an it's a word. That's a true statement. You will bring reproach on His name. But I think that you know that the Bible tells you clearly that you should marry only in the Lord. Why? Because we're going to walk together serving God. We're going to walk together training our children in the way that God wants. Okay, you fall in love. She's a nice person. She's a nice girl, and we love her. It's not hypocrite because I tell her to her face, I love you, and I want you to be part of our family. We can't force her now. But I always feel like if you may say, you know what, Jehovah, I know that this is what the Bible says, but I love this person. But I went, go to the meeting. I went help her to love to serve you, and this will be our life. I know in my heart she would have been doing it because she loves me. But she said that, oh, well, you're not raised up in a truth, you're not like it. Why should I worry about that? Why should I even care? You see, so I think you should have be like what the Bible says, the head of the family, and take the lead in a spiritual aspect. And everything that I'm going to talk to me, I don't know about Daddy, but me, I always take a lay on my bed and I say, you know what? I think my son, my conscience is better, and instead I try, go on the knees and say, Jehovah, help me make her do better. He's going to the extreme. I'm going to look for people, go talk to people who have no regard for Jehovah nor the organization, because whatever caused them to come out of your organization, it was their fault. Take the responsibility. Not say, oh, the brother do this, the brother do this. No, we all have to take responsibility for action. And if we have one quality, we're not easy, which is humility, because we truly love God, then we'll move forward. Because a lot of people, you could read about them when they get in touch, and they were not happy because they feel that void. Because Jesus says, spiritual food makes you happy. And then people where they're not proud of themselves, today or tomorrow, you go on the street, they're going to know and look for you. They will look up your family, and they don't even look at you. They will walk right ahead and don't care because they don't have no love for nobody. And then outside that destroy. And then everything we them to destroy. And they have to feed it. But the only thing I worry, I don't want it to feed by you. Even if you don't want to continue, because you are a witness. But even if you don't want to, you hear me?
Yeah.
So even if you don't want to continue, follow, just live one life and get away from them. Get away from them people because they are poison force. Poison, they're like cancer force. Eat out your brain and don't care.
You keep using that word cancer. That word cancer in reference to either people who are apostates or people who left the truth, like you call it. That word is used in the literature from the society. So I'm not surprised that you're using that exact word.
Because you know why I know the word cancer? Because that's what killed my sister. And when they realized it, it had eaten all her vital, the lungs, the kidney, everything. Christina couldn't live because the man tell her it eats out. So cancer eats out your inside. And that's what happens to you if you're not stop of your family, and then you will suffer. So, your wife decelerates and your college, so.
Yeah, except cancer is a disease that people don't have control over. But when I make a conscious choice and decision based on facts and information that I've discovered, it's not a disease. It's using my critical thinking ability that Jehovah gave me.
Okay.
So my problem that I've had with my own family, you, Daddy, and everybody else, is the fact that, and I'm constantly amazed by this, or maybe not so, but the fact that you guys are not willing to say, Adrian, you know what? Come here, sit with us, show us whatever proof you say you have, we'll look into it. It's either true or it's false. If it's false, we'll show you where I've made an error or mistake. But you and Daddy and everybody else do the same thing the society does and all the other witnesses that I've talked to, which is to put a mental block and say, "Oh, that's from the devil. Oops, that's Satan stuff. Oops, that's negative. Oops, that."
Some of them things when they talk about them things that has been fixed. Some of them like child molesters and stuff like that, but it's still going on now. People don't believe. Because you still when people come and become a witness, you can't see their heart and you can't see their mind. That's why they got this fellowship thing. Because you can't read their mind or their heart. So that's why,
But Mommy,
when
Blue,
they come out on the line,
we're talking about two separate things. You're talking about individual witnesses, but they are not my concern and never was my concern. My concern is the governing body, and I've discovered so many deceitful things that they've done. Even in your loyalty convention, they've done something so deceitful and demonic that you wouldn't believe it if I was to tell you over the phone. But you and Daddy and my family, you guys will not give me the opportunity to show you proof of what the society is doing behind you guys' back. You wouldn't give me the day of, because to you, you're like, you don't have time for that. That's just you've already made up your mind because it's God's channel that you guys love and protect.
And that's why you know what, I would hope that I live too for it. But you young, you might live to see the day when, if they're not God's channel, He will move them because you don't play with Him. If it's not, if the time will come when He will move them. So since it's not actually individually, we as individuals, we are doing what we know is right. So if that group of people that you're talking about is not doing right, God is watching and He will do it. So that's where the trust in God come in.
Okay.
Because if He tell you that He have an organization, He will fix it. He will fix it.
Right. If Daddy was doing something behind your back that wasn't good, and say Selma or somebody else that is your close friend knew about it, would you want them to keep that information from you? Because, yeah, you would want them to tell you. And Mommy, that's exactly how I feel about the organization. I feel that I've come across, I know about all this other stuff that you guys don't know about, but you guys just choose to push it aside and say, just, I'm relying on Jehovah. This is the truth. This is the truth, and everything else that you believe the organization to be.
And is it from a real, reliable source?
Ma, and that's why I've been telling you for years, I can come there and sit with you and Daddy and the family if you want and print out stuff for you guys on your own to look at and find out. But if you're not willing to do that yourself, anything I say, you could just easily discredit it, right? And that's understandable. I mean, I understand that if I'm just telling you stuff, yeah, why would you believe me? Even though, Blue, you know me not to be a liar. But even so, right? Even so, if I was to present to you many things that I've come across that, you might say, oh, these are old things. Fine, I can show you things that even in the loyalty convention that would blow your mind, and I can prove it. You would probably be reluctant to look into it. And that's just the way you're conditioned and you're trained. Just this past yesterday, I spoke with 2 elders at the Kingdom Hall. I drove over there and I presented to them some information regarding the loyalty convention. And after showing them proof and facts, you know what they said? All they could say is, well, if you're not happy, you have a choice to live your life the way you want. I was like, and that's the response I get over and over again. Nobody wants to look at it to see whether or not it's true because they're afraid. They're afraid of what they're going to find out.
Well, I think in a way it intended the right thing because like with other churches, a lot of things go on. So nobody can change people from thinking that, they're going to, I will be a Catholic until I die. But I think that was a good answer in a sense that, if you satisfy with what you hear and you feel good about it, well, go ahead.
Okay.
So nothing about it.
So if that's how you guys feel, then I just, I'll be honest, just like you were honest with me. I don't feel that it's right for you or anybody else to text us every so often to see how we're doing, because to me, it's fake. Okay, and let me just say, because I allow you to talk, but let me just say that I see when I was there living with you guys, you did the same thing with certain people who used to be witnesses. You would be okay and satisfied just to see how they're doing here and there, and you're good. And I told Sarah that's exactly what my mom is doing now, and I won't allow it. So the thing is, either you guys as a family want to decide to meet with me and talk like adults, or I would just say keep to what the society is telling you guys, which is that we're mentally diseased and that we just want to tear down the society.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, take care of yourself now.
So you guys rather not meet with me, right?
Okay, bye.